So, sa kuryente, anong dapat malaman ng taong bayan today? The people have seen, number one, new players in the Meralco board. Maraming nag-agawan na sumama dyan. And we made reports that even the brother of the Sultan of Brunei has joined the investors in Meralco. Bakit? Is this helping bring down electricity rates? Ano ba itong propaganda ngayon ni Senator Enrile? Nabababa daw ang kuryente. Let's get an update. And yung Transco, yung transmission grid na napunta na po doon sa national grid na tinatawag.
Yes, right.
Is this going to help us bring down rates or will it increase rates? So, Pete, take it away.
Thank you, Mentong, and good day also to our listeners. Well, we have to remind ourselves that with all these increases in the cost of electricity and water, the more that we need to the more that we need to generate our vigilance, the more that we need to be more vigilant rather, and the more that we need to continue studying so that we will be more effective in addressing these concerns. This is going to be the third month now that consumers have been absorbing this additional cost in our distribution rates based on the decision of the Energy Regulatory Commission last May when it was implemented. We started paying an additional 25 centavos per kilowatt hour. But perhaps it will be a consolation to inform the consumers that we brought this issue to the Court of Appeals, hence now pending with the Court of Appeals. The respondent, Meralco and ERC, were given certain time to come up with their comments and position on our petition for review. And on top of that, we also filed a petition for refund against Meralco in the amount of 49 billion also last May, based on our position that Meralco violated the least cost supply provision of the law.
Least cost supply provision. Ano ibig sabihin nun? For our audience to review this principle.
Least cost provision, binase natin ito doon sa ginawa ng former Energy Regulatory Board when they approved the IPP contracts between Meralco and their independent power producers. Nung mag-submit ng rate yung mga IPPs ng Meralco, on a per kilowatt hour basis, ang ginamit na benchmark ng former Energy Regulatory Board ay yung presyo ng NAPOCOR. So sabi ng Energy Regulatory Board, approve yung inyong rate sapagkat mas mababa kayo dito sa rate ng National Power Corporation. Na alam natin na base din sa Executive Order 215 na pinirmahan ni former President Cory Aquino, under the economic criteria ng IRR nito, sinasabi na yung mga bagong facilities, itong mga IPP nga, ang rate nila ay dapat kapantay lamang o mas mababa sa NAPOCOR. So itong tinatawag nating na-establish yung least cost supply principle dito. Yun ang ginawang benchmark. So lahat nitong tatlong IPP ng Meralco nung aprubahan ng Energy Regulatory Board ay pirming sinasabi ng decision na approve ka dahil mas mababa ka sa presyo ng NAPOCOR. Yun ang pinagbasihan natin ng least cost supply provision sapagkat yun lang naman ang maaari nating isay. Kaya dito sa unbundled rates ng Meralco, nakita natin na simula nung i-implement yung kanilang unbundled rates in May 2003 or in June 2003 nung i-implement, nakita natin na mas mataas yung rates ng kanyang IPP kaysa sa NAPOCOR. Kaya yung binibigay sa atin ay yung average. For example, in the decision of the Energy Regulatory Commission on the application of Meralco, the decision itself cited the average rate of the three IPPs of Meralco, namely yung Quezon Power, First Gas Santa Rita, and First Gas San Lorenzo. Yung average rate ng tatlo na to was 421. As against the ERC approved rate of NAPOCOR, which was only 246. So can you imagine the big difference? 421 against 246. And what was billed to us was the median rate, 340. So we're saying,
So
we
hindi
should-
least cost yun.
Yes,
It
we
was a
should-
median
That's
cost.
right. We should have not been charged 340, but the 246 or lower than the 246. So that was the argument we used in this petition for refund.
Okay.
And we hope that ERC would act on it and call for the first hearing.
Given the track record of the ERC, and you've been working and filing petitions and attending hearings of the ERC for the past years, is your hope justified?
Well, that would again depend on our vigilance. It would
Okay.
depend on our efforts to inform as many fellow consumers as we can, because ERC is not safe from pressures.
Yeah.
There are so many sources of pressures for ERC.
The chairman of the ERC now is Ducot.
Yes, a former congresswoman of Pampanga,
You
the
will-
district represented now by Congressman Mikey Arroyo.
I cannot help make the pun that I find it hard to have faith with a name like that, but
That's the reason why I was saying earlier that we need to keep up our
vigilance. Okay. And aside from the name, is a track record also. It's a political ally of the administration.
That's right.
And political ally of the bills that seem to favor the private power companies.
Yes.
Anyway,
It's a given fact naman, Mentong, that unless you're so close to Malacanang, you'll never be appointed to sensitive posts like this.
that's right. Yeah. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, there are new players, San Miguel in the Meralco board, am I correct?
Yes.
Pangilinan in the Meralco board, and behind Pangilinan, I'm told, is the interests in Indonesia, and behind the other and new players is the brother of the Sultan of Brunei, si Jeffrey, Prince Jeffrey. Which came first? Their interest or the rate increase? That's why they got interested.
Or the rate increase.
The rate increase.
Because the application of Meralco for rate increase started back in 2007, and this was approved in early 2008.
Okay.
And the only reason why the implementation was somehow delayed, because they have to translate the increase through their allocation to the 3 different rates of Meralco as a distributor.
Okay. Do you think these new players come in, of course, to take advantage of the rate increase? Will it, however, reduce rates, or there will be greater pressure to increase rates because it seems that there are more powerful people playing the game in Meralco now? For example, San Miguel has been identified with the administration already on many of these projects. What's your view?
Well, based on the promulgation of VRC, we could expect a lowering of the rates rather than increasing rates because of the annual review of the rate they gave, which is actually what we have been demanding ever since, that in order for us to establish or determine the reasonableness of a rate, the rate given is just an assumption that it will allow you to recover your investment and enjoy a return. So after a year's operation, there is that need to audit you in order to determine whether the rate given you indeed was reasonable because it has addressed, or rather it has met your requirements. There is no other way to determine whether the rate given was reasonable except for a compliance audit, which should be done at the end of 1 year's operation.
Yeah, but if at that point, during the audit, it is found out that it is too high,
Then we can expect a refund.
a refund, but we've already paid and they've already used our money. There seems to be something unfair there.
It's a good thing because now this commission, when they directed Meralco to refund its overcharges in the Sera, this time, out of its own initiative rather, they imposed a penalty which was more than 10%. So yung 3.1 naging 3.9 billion. So it's good because ERC has now established a precedent. So every time there will be a directive to refund overcharges, then it should be attended with penalties and surcharges.
But so far, suma total, tumataas pa rin ang kuryente natin.
Especially in the generation. Not necessarily in the distribution because it's still regulated. In the charges, that has automatic adjustments like the generation and the systems loss.
Okay.
Dito
So
tayo
systems
kawawa.
loss, I thought binababa na nila dapat yung systems loss.
Kaya lang nakakabit pa rin to sa generation eh. Di ba? What was paid for, what was contracted with, and not collected, di ba? So it becomes the system's loss.
Okay. Itong performance-based rating mechanism, how is it performing now? Again,
We have
people...
been against this.
Yes,
We
yes.
have been against this because of the situation where we are in right now. We're saying, how can you reward a utility when you know that it has overcharged the consumers and in fact has not even yet completed the refund
Refunds,
order?
yes,
It has so many refund orders. How can you reward a utility that has been abusing its consumers? That's number one.
Okay. How much of the refund
Secondly,
is... Yeah.
how can you reward, di ba? How can you give an additional rate, di ba? When in fact, as the financial statement would show, they are enjoying excessive profits.
Do you recall the figure, the latest figures of profits nila?
Well, let's not talk of figure. Let's talk of percentages.
Yes, okay.
In 2004, they realized 13% RORB. And
13?
yet they were, yes.
13.
And they were-
2004. Okay.
Yes. And they were able to refund 5 billion.
Yes, okay.
Can you imagine if they were not directed to refund 5 billion? Their RORB could have been 18 or 19 or 20%,
Yes.
which is a lot higher than the 12%
That's right.
as adopted by the industry. Until 2008, kita pa rin sila. And they're able to refund an average of 3 billion a year based on the decision or directive of the Supreme Court. So nakakapag-refund ka ng 3 billion,
May
ang
tubo
taas
pa.
pa ng RORB mo, edi excessive profits ka.
Okay, dito sa PBR, review ko lang history niyan. PBR is the formula for that allows them a certain profit. That started sa PPA pa nila per
RORB pa naman yan eh. I mean,
return on rate base,
there is a
ano?
guaranteed profit. Kaya lang, regulated nga.
Yeah, but
yung
before it was how much? 20 years ago, maybe 8%?
12% pa rin
12%?
naman. Yung cap.
Oh.
Yung cap, 12%
Ngayon,
pa rin.
anong cap na? Meron pa ba? For a while, it was 16%. 15%.
Under the unbundled rate application, which started, under the unbundled rate implemented, which started in June 2003, 15.5% sila. Ngayon, 12.1% sila. Pero sinasabi nila, although approved na yung tax ipapasa sa consumer, sinasabi nila, hindi ini-implement yung component nung tax sa rate natin. So, sinuspend lang nila. Winidheld nila yung component ng tax sa kanilang rate. So, yun nga ang dapat nating itanong eh. Kung isinama nila, how much would the increase be? Definitely, it would be higher than 25 centavos per kilowatt hour.
Okay.
Ang masakit nga rito, that's why we wrote ERC requesting them to recognize this additional increase of 25 centavos which will be used for the capex of Meralco as consumers' equity. Because when this is based on our analysis, Mentong, that when you give an additional rate increase, it is a presumption that the owners have invested something and that you are giving them this additional increase in order for them to recover this new investment. The question is, where is your new investment? You have no new investment. So what is there to recover for? Remember that when a rate is given, for example, sa tubig o sa kape, pag binigyan mo ng presyo yan, that price should allow you to recover your investment, di ba? On a yearly basis based on your amortization period and a return on your investment. Hindi ba? Ito, binigyan mo ng kadagdagan para sa mga bibilhin. Hindi, for recovery ang rate eh. Ang rate binibigay mo to recover an expense or a capital. Dito wala kang i-recover sapagkat wala kang bagong pamumuhunan. Kaya sinasabi natin, i-treat mo yan as consumer equity. Dahil ang dapat mag-recover niyan, ang consumers. So that can be recovered by way of treating it in your book of accounts as consumer equity. Nang sa ganun, pag nandyan na yung mga equipments na yan, yung pera na yan, di ba, sa amin yan, so kikita yan ng dividendo.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Diane, if you have any questions, magtanong ka rin, ha? So, may mga recent petitions pa for rate increases pa? Any new ones that the public should know?
Wala pa tayong alam ngayon sa ngayon. Ang pinaka-latest lang ngayon was the approval of an application for authority to enter into this IPP contract ng Meralco with Montalban Methane Power Corporation, yung sa kanilang landfill sa Montalban. So we visited that, renewable energy, kaya lang napakamahal ng kanilang cost per megawatt hour, umaabot ito ng $2 million per megawatt hour. Unlike yung first gas natin, sabi nila 1 million lamang. Yung KEPCO, Ilihan, 490,000 lamang yun. Ito, $2 million
Yeah.
per
Well,
megawatt.
I was told by an environmental engineer who's working on some of these projects that itong privatization ng hydro natin, luging-lugi ang publiko. Because now, the ones claiming for the carbon credit are the companies like Aboitiz and so on. When we should be benefiting sana, tayo publiko, doon sa mga carbon credits na yun. So
That's why as early as 2007, in early 2007, we already forewarned PISAM. Sabi natin sa kanila na number one, itong ginagawa niyong pag-privatize, this is a violation of the IPIRA. Because the IPIRA says the privatization should be in groups or in clusters.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, in order to optimize the value to the government from the proceeds. Sinabi na natin may violation kayo under Section 47. At dangerous ang ginagawa natin kasi ang may iwan sa ating mga itong isa-isa, ang may iwan sa atin yung mga mahal. Okay. Kaya nung nag-petition sila for rate increase ngayon in January, although this was in 2008, we questioned the propriety nung kanilang application. Sabi natin, bakit ang nag-apply napukurang may-ari nito PISAM? Under the IPIRA, PISAM ang may-ari. So, pinaulit yung application, naging joint application. In this application, they are citing now as one of the reasons for the rate increase application na ang naiwan daw sa kanila itong mga mahal na planta. Kaya mahal yung rate, kaya sila nag-increase. Kaya sinulatan ko sila ngayon. Sinabi ko na sa inyo yan 2 years ago. Hindi kayo naniwala. Number one, may violation kayo. Number two, mali yung, di ba? Itong violation nyo, nagbubunga ngayon ng pagmahal ng, ng kuryente. Kaya sabi ko, i-withdraw nyo yung application nyo. Kung hindi, demanda ko kayo.
Okay. So, suma total, before we take our break, the next 60 seconds, what is the state of affairs in the power sector in relation to consumer welfare?
Nakakatakot po. Sapagkat kahit ang Goodyear aalis na dahil sa taas ng presyo ng kuryente.
Ayun,
At ito ay maaaring sundan pa ng ibang malalaking mga kumpanya. Kaya dapat ang gobyerno pumasok, di ba, maging decisive, di ba? Nang sa ganun maproteksyonan hindi lang ang consumer, kundi ang ekonomiya mismo. Sapagkat lahat tayo nagdidepende sa magandang ekonomiya. At itong presyo ng kuryente nga na napakataas ay nakasisira ng ekonomiya. Kahit ano pang i-sugarcoat nila, nag-aalisa ng mga kumpanya.
Okay. So yan, I think that is the bottom line. Nakakatakot po dahil marami ng biktima itong taas ng presyo ng kuryente. Goodyear is the latest. Before, it was Intel, you remember? Computer company, umalis dahil sa taas ng kuryente. And of course, 90 million electricity consumers of our country. So, you won't hear this on ANC. Diretsahan po tayo. That's why it's important to keep tabs with us here on Global News Network. Okay, we're going to take our break and then yung topic naman natin, pag-uusapan natin.